Hello, welcome to my channel Travel with KL. Handle is at KL Wanderlust. I am your host Kakoli and I am here to help you travel the world with me. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. And you can find a link to my other videos in the description box below. And you can also find the link to my travel blog, The Wayfarer. So today I am going to talk about one of the most beautiful destinations in India. Somewhat under-visited and underrated, but yet I think this is one of India's treasures, and that is the Andamans. Yes, so I'll talk about the Andamans today. So to go to Andaman, first of all, the season is important because it can get very warm in the summer. Monsoons can be, the rains can be very heavy. So November to February is the ideal time to visit Andaman. And when you are in Andaman, you have to book your itinerary so that you get at least 5 to 6 days, because you have to go to the islands and you need to take a ferry, and you cannot fit in everything in a day. So you keep that in mind while planning your Andaman itinerary. I would say 5 to 6 days is enough. So firstly you have to reach Port Blair. So Port Blair has flights from all the major destinations in India, and depending on the timing of your flight you can book a ferry on the same day or the next day, but I would actually advise you to book the ferry for the next day and stay the night in Port Blair, because sometimes due to bad weather the ferry may get cancelled, the flight may get delayed, and then you will be in a soup. So stay in Port Blair. There are lots of things to do in Port Blair itself. So what do you do in Port Blair? The first thing which you should do is visit the circular jail, and you can hire a guide there, and he will tell you all the stories about how our freedom fighters fought to get us the freedom which we so much value. And there is a light and sound show there in the evening, so you can book the tickets in advance for the light and sound show. If you reach Port Blair a little earlier and you have time, what you can do is that you can go to this place called Chiria Tapu, which is about 28 kilometers from Port Blair. Beautiful sunset and excellent for bird watching. Very, very picturesque place. But one thing to remember, because Andaman is towards the east, so the sun sets earlier on 5 p.m. So you have to reach maybe before 12 to make it to Chiria Tapu. Once you check into the hotel, rest and relax a bit after that. So, and if you have less time, you can go to the Ross Island, which is about 3 kilometers from central Port Blair. So it is famous for its historic ruins, and there is quite a bit of history attached to it, because between 1942 to 1945, during the Second World War, the Japanese had occupied this place, and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose actually stayed here for a day when he was taking help from the Japanese to overthrow the British government. So the island is also named after him. It is called Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island. And right now it is not inhabited. There are lots of historic ruins, and you can see a lot of fauna there, deers, peacocks, so you can have a good time there. Other than that, there is the Corbin Cove beach, a small beach in Port Blair itself, and you can also do some shopping in the government emporium, which is called Sagarika. And there are also some private shops nearby where you can pick some pearls and beads. So where to stay? So in the whole of Andaman, I would advise that there is this particular chain of restaurant called Seashell. You did not stay there, but I would recommend, because they have very nice cozy accommodation. They have excellent food in almost all the islands in Andaman. So that is a good place to be. And if you're in the Port Blair Seashell, they have a rooftop restaurant called the Amaya, which has live music almost every night and excellent seafood. So you can have a good time. Then the next day, you take a ferry to Havelock, and out of all the ferries, the private ferries maintain time a bit better. I found Macruz, Makruz. So Macruz, they are pretty good. They offer pretty good service. So you can book a morning ferry, reach Havelock, and in Havelock also I would suggest that you stay in the Govind Nagar area. There's a Seashell there, and there are some other resorts, beachside resorts there. You can stay in the Radhanagar beach area also. There is a big Taj there, and there are some other nice resorts, but the cell reception is very bad in that area. So, and to get to everything, basically you have to come all the way to Govind Nagar. So better stay in Govind Nagar area. And while you are in Havelock, the most important thing to do is to be at Radhanagar beach at sunset. Okay, so Radhanagar beach is the 7th best beach in the world. Absolutely pristine beach, turquoise blue waters, and while you are there, ask for where the Niels Cove is. So that is an area. There are lots of corals around, and you can get beautiful pictures, and you can have a beautiful panoramic view of the whole area from the Niels Cove. I'm so proud. I was so proud when I actually saw the Radhanagar beach, because I have traveled quite a bit and I have seen the Mediterranean beaches and the Australian beaches, and I can tell you Radhanagar beach is at par, if not better than that. So please check that out. Also, Kala Patthar beach, there is another beach which is a fabulous beach, and this is most fabulous during sunrise. The next day you have to go to this Elephant beach. You know, there are tours which take you there, and that beach is famous for the water sports. You can do snorkeling, you can do all kinds of water sports, jet ski riding, all things. And for the food in Havelock, you check out Bonova. That again, it's within the the seashell resort. Bonova, excellent seafood there. You have all other options, vegetarian and vegan options are also available. And there's also another place called Something Different. So the name of the restaurant is Something Different, which is very close to Bonova. If you have a plan a longer stay, because you need 2 days in Havelock, so if you have more time, you can take the ferry the next day to Neil Island. And Neil Island, you can just admire the pristine beaches, the beauty, the scenic beauty, and also it's very good for scuba diving. Okay, so and then you can either, the next day you can either take the ferry and book the flight, the returning flight on the same day. If you are from a city like me, I am from Bengaluru, so the flight from Port Blair to Bangalore is generally in the late afternoon. So I can manage to catch a ferry from either of the islands, Havelock or Neil, to Port Blair, and Port Blair to Bangalore by flight. But if you are from one of the cities or towns where the flight is in the early morning, then you may have to stay one extra night at Port Blair. Okay, so that's all about Andaman. And yes, one more thing, in the airport there is a government emporium where you get very good pearls at very good rates, so check that out. So that's all about Andaman. If you like my video, please you can give your comments in the comment section below. Videos I'll be making on Europe. The whole next section is going to be on Europe, where I will take one country after another, and my first video on Europe will be on, well, I'll leave it as a surprise. And if you want to know about any particular country in Europe, you please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to cover that country. Okay, bye.